Today we're meal prepping. All recipes will be linked in the description. We're going to be doing 2 recipes from Pickup Limes and 2 recipes from Rainbow Plant Life. If you missed my video on how I meal plan and my zero waste grocery haul specifically for this video, I will leave it linked in the description as well. For the Pickup Limes recipes, we need to soak the mung beans and the chickpeas, or the split yellow peas, sorry. So we're going to be doing that first. And yes, I am soaking the red lentils. Rainbow Plant Life said to do it, and she knows best. So this first recipe that we're doing with Rainbow Plant Life is actually a 10 ingredient lentil bolognese. When it comes to meal prepping, food doesn't have to be complicated. It can be something that's easy, quick and healthy. And also incorporate some of our favourite things, like for me it's pasta. I find that when I'm particularly busy, being able to just grab something from the fridge that's already prepared is a lifesaver. Especially at this time of year when it seems to be a content creator's busiest time, although I assume it's the busiest time for most people as well. It's so much easier to be able to just grab something and continue working so that you don't have to work too late into the night. This recipe is, as I said, super simple. It's got just onions, lots of tomato paste, and then some nice herbs and spices. And my favourite, red wine. It only called for 120 ml, but I just used the whole bottle. Surprisingly, she uses red lentils, which really held their shape really well. I was quite surprised. And then walnuts. That cooks down for about 20 minutes, so in the meantime, we're making pasta. And of course, I added some pasta water. I used to babysit for an Italian family, and the mother used to always give me sort of cooking tips, and she said that this is something you always had to do. So I do it. For these, I put half in the fridge and half in the freezer. Okay, the next recipe is going to be a vegan stroganoff from Rainbow Plant Life as well. We had lots of leeks left in the fridge, so I needed to use those up, so this was the perfect recipe to do so. Even though this isn't a 10 ingredient recipe, it has very few ingredients and it's really easy and quick to make, especially if you like those sort of heavier, creamier pasta dishes. What I found really interesting about this is she kind of gets you to make a roux with flour and veggie stock and tamari and hot water. I added hot water in bits by bit just so that I didn't have to whisk it and so that it would create a really nice lump-free mixture. We have some more white wine in this. All the white wines and red wines you can clearly omit from these recipes. They always say that you do. But for me, I just find that they add so much flavour, especially to vegan meals. Now, what I found particularly interesting about this recipe is that it asked for coconut milk, not sort of a soy cream or anything like that. And weirdly enough, it just did not taste coconutty at all. So it really did its job. It made it creamy and delicious, but without creating a flavour that's not usually seen in a vegan or in any stroganoff. I used this pasta because this is the only one that I had from my zero waste shop. Just adding some fresh dill. I love dill. Fresh herbs make any dish just 10,000% better. And again, I put these into even smaller dishes because it's quite a rich meal and I like to have it with sort of a salad on the side, but I'm putting most of this in the freezer. Okay, so for these lentils, we've got these yellow split peas and we have some mung beans. And these are for 2 pick up limes recipes. One is Shola and one is Borani Banjan. I can't even tell you how delicious these meals are, and I cannot believe I haven't made one of them before. They are a little time intensive, but the recipes are actually very simple, and it may take you some time, but it has quite few ingredients and it's absolutely worth the effort. So the first thing we're making is the shola, which is the sticky rice, which is rice and mung beans and spices. And then second, what goes on top of that is, I think it's called a game. And this is the yellow split peas with tomato paste and spices. It's really, really simple to make, but it's unbelievable. I highly, highly recommend you make this. The sticky rice is also really simple. Once you put all the ingredients in, you put the lid on and you let that cook for about 20 minutes. And then we also had a garlic yogurt that goes on top and makes the dish. Okay, so the last recipe, while the others are still cooking, is the Borani Banjan. It's a deep fried aubergine dish, which I don't usually deep fry things, but this was 100% worth it. I can't believe, again, I have never tried a meal like this before because it was so delicious. Although I tell you what, peeling aubergines is surprisingly difficult. That's why mine look very strange. Again, this recipe is really simple, it just takes a bit of time. After you've deep fried the aubergine, you take them out and let the excess oil run off, and then you add all the other ingredients to the pan. And then you start layering everything, pretty much. You have a sauce on the bottom, and then you layer the aubergine, and then the onion, which is raw, and then you add more aubergine, tomato, and then more aubergine. Once you've done that, you literally put a lid on it and let it cook and sort of steam for about 20 minutes. I put it on a very low heat, and then you're done. I had to do this over 2 days because I lost the light, so I couldn't film it properly for you guys, but that's it. So I have these sort of 3 things that can go together, and you can have just some rice with the game, or you can just have this aubergine dish, but that's pretty much it. And I ended up making quite a huge amount of meals. As you can see, one of the pastas is already gone because I ate it. If you're interested in making any of these recipes, please check out the original recipes in the link down below, and I've also linked Sadia's video on an Afghan feast, what she ate growing up, and has a really important message as well. So please check out the original recipes and the links in the description below. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. Okay, I'll see you in the next one.